Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to a bit of an impromptu video. I might continue this throughout the season if you enjoy it, but I just wanted to go through 5 things that we learnt in St Kilda's pre-season, particularly the 2 pracky games that we played against the Bombers and North Melbourne, to which we both ended up winning those games. So, number 1, Darcy Wilson should debut next week. I would be staggered if Darcy Wilson isn't in the lineup for round 1 against the Cats. I think he can be a very, very important player for us. His 2 games in the pre-season were exceptional, particularly the one against North in the first half especially. He got over 600 metres gained, 20 odd possessions, was very clean by foot and never stopped running, never looked like he was even out of breath. It was unbelievable to watch. So I'd be very shocked if he doesn't play a lot of football this season in the seniors. I think he could do what Filippo did last year and play almost every game if he stays fit and his form stays up to that level. He's a very, very good player and we're very lucky that he slipped to where he did and we picked him up at that pick. Number 2, a new face again, Riley Bonner to replace Sinclair off half-back. I think once Sinclair returns, I think we'll see a lot of him in the midfield, and I'll go through that reason in my next point. But I think Riley Bonner, why did Port get rid of him? He's looking like an exceptional halfback flanker. His ball use has been elite. He's a very nice long left foot kick, and we love that at St Kilda. And he's good for a goal on the run, and he just makes us that much more dangerous. Partnering him with Nasiah off halfback, I don't think we'll miss Sinclair too much. And that's a huge call. But just off the back of what I've learned from Riley Bonner and watching him at training and seeing the way that he's performed in terms of how he's made us more creative off halfback, how go to woe he is. He just continually pushes forward. It just makes us really potent off halfback, and I think not many teams will be able to match that Riley Bonner, Nasiah, and maybe Sinclair rotating with him at times. That combination off halfback, that's going to be very exciting to watch this year. Number 3, the midfield is still an issue. It is still an issue. The first 2 games in the pracky, I think we were pretty well beaten. Although statistically we weren't that bad. To me, it's more than that. And, it's hard to judge off the back of not having Crouch, Hunter Clark, Paddy Dow, Sinclair being able to rotate through there. Windy went off very early against the Bombers. It's hard to judge, but I just think based on what I saw, if we don't have 1 or 2 of those players playing, we're in a little bit of trouble because we rely too heavily on Jack Steele. And then there's not enough rotations after that, particularly if there's no Brad Crouch. It's Steele or bust. And then you're throwing players in there like, Filippo, who's trialled through there. Owens goes through there a little bit. Seb Ross still goes through there. But obviously the weakest point on the ground still is the midfield. It is getting better. It is getting stronger. We are getting more rotations through there. But currently it is still the weakest part of the ground and a part that we still need to improve on if we want to break into that top 4 like I think we can. Number 4, King, Sharman, Membry is my trio in the forward line. That is my starting 3 tools, the medium-sized in Sharman and Membry, but Membry can play a bit bigger than his size. We've seen that. And obviously the full forward, the star in that forward line, Max King, I think he can win a Coleman medal this year. He was very good in the first 2 prackies, particularly the first with that just amazing goal from outside 50. The snap was unbelievable to watch. Sharman, I think, was one of our better players in the 2 pracky games overall, continually leading, very good mark of the footy in those games, and is always an accurate set shot in front of goal. And the same goes for Tim Membry. Very clean, got through the 2 games unscathed, kicked well, led up well, and I think that just offers... the 3 of them complement each other, but they offer something very different. King is just that raw talent, and you just can't stop him when he runs and jumps. Sharman surprises. I think he's put on size, and that does help, so he can take those pack marks now. But he's also got that leading rhythm about him that makes him a very hard matchup because he's always on the move, and he's not afraid to put his body on the line, similar to Tim Membry, who's just a great mark and a great set shot overall anyway. And lucky last, number 5, injuries still suck. Injuries still suck. We started the preseason really well. We only had really Paddy Dow that we were worried about, and maybe players returning like a Jack Hayes. Dan Butler's been a bit sore, but we've known that for a while. The majority of the preseason, that list was the same. And then Hunter Clark goes down, Sinclair goes down, Dougal Howard goes down now, Windy. I'm probably missing people there. You know, there's players in doubt. Filippo slightly in doubt for round one, I read. You know, Josh Battle went down with a niggle, but he's okay. Crouch, you know, the list kind of just out of nowhere got a little bit out of control. There's still a lot of players, of those players, that are going to be a test for next week, which is great because we could still, you know, put a fairly strong team up against the Cats. But it's just not ideal. It'd be great to go through a preseason where we don't have any sort of injuries, but particularly ones like Hunter Clark, where it's just impact and bad luck, and it could have been avoided and it wasn't, you know. So yeah, that's the top 5. That's what we learnt, or at least what I learnt from St Kilda's preseason games. Put in the comments, what are the top 5 things that you learnt or you took away from St Kilda's preseason, and let me know in the comments if you enjoy these types of videos. I'll be a bit more prepared next time, but if you want maybe a what we learned out of round 1, 2, 3, a consistent video series throughout the year, let me know and I'll make my best effort to get it done. So thanks, Saners. Enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.